We're going to talk more about that later, but how we start every podcast is we always ask how you got your start in music. And funny enough, I don't know too much. I know you went to Berkeley, but that's about it, which is funny. So this will be fun for me.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know.
the Salem lore.
Right?
So I started singing as early as I can remember. There are recordings of me making up songs around the house when I was 4 years old that my parents loved to show everybody as blackmail.
Yeah.
And they caught on super early that I liked singing and music. So they put me in singing lessons, piano lessons, and then a songwriting class when I was, I think, 8 or 9.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was a summer program called Blue Bear Music School in San Francisco. And the teacher was actually Bonnie Hayes.
Oh.
And she was my very first songwriting teacher ever.
Wow.
Yeah. I got super lucky there. And I just immediately fell in love with songwriting. I didn't know that it was a real job you could have. I just thought it was something to
You
do
just
for
did, yeah.
fun. Yeah, exactly. I would always make up little songs around the house about my stuffed animals or like how I was feeling that day. Almost little jingles. I feel like I was a jingle writer when I was a kid, like making up songs for the dog and everything. And then Bonnie taught me the basics of songwriting, and she really instilled the importance of lyricism into me from a super young age, which I feel like I really held on to.
No kidding.
Yeah, me, lyrics. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah.
And then Bonnie got a job at Berklee College of Music as the head of the songwriting department. And I think I was 12 at the time. And I remember thinking, okay, I'm going to follow her to Berklee. That's the new goal. That's where I'm going to go to school.
Crazy.
And I actually was an intern at Blue Bear every summer after that and taught songwriting just over the summer.
Taught songwriting to other children.
Yes,
When
and
you were a child.
I was 12 when
Yeah.
I started doing that, and a lot of them were older than me. Super uncomfortable. They were like, there was like 15-year-old boys, and I was like standing at the front of the class, like, so this is a chord progression. It was really
Were you a good
funny.
teacher? I feel like you were.
I don't remember, honestly.
Yeah.
I think I blocked a lot of that out, but I had a really good time.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a great way to learn is to teach, actually, funny enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say that you don't know something unless you can articulate it to someone else.
Super true.
So that was definitely helpful and just a really fun way to spend summers. And then I ended up going to Berklee and stayed for 2 years and then dropped out. I was like, you know what? I've accomplished the goal of getting here, and I feel like I have learned what I came here to learn and met a bunch of really cool people, and I was impatient.
What made you, because, you know, like the joke is that, like, I mean, what's the joke with like Berkeley? Like, if you finish.
Yeah,
you know?
they're like, you know, you should drop out, or if things go well, like
Right.
you've dropped out.
What made you, you know, besides being impatient, what made you feel like that you're like, you know what, I gotta get out? Did you immediately move out to LA once you dropped out?
I did, yeah. So everyone that I was working with really consistently, they were about to graduate and they were all moving to LA.
Right.
And I didn't want to lose those connections that I had made and stop working with the people that I worked with every week. And I also went to every song screening and every office hour and just networked so much while I was there that I did feel like I had a decent amount of people I could reach out to help set up sessions. For those of you that don't know, song screenings were basically an A&R or someone in the industry would visit Berklee and they would spend like 2 hours listening to demos, and they would usually listen to like a verse and a chorus in front of a whole group of people and give feedback on it. And then if you wanted to, you could wait afterwards in
like
a long
talk.
line and talk to them and just try and get some FaceTime.
Right.
And I would always go and get their email. That was like my little...
And they would give out their email.
If you asked. Yeah,
Wow.
not everyone would ask. So
Yeah.
I was like... I made sure to do that, and
You
then I
had
would
some
always
real
send
chutzpah
them.
doing that, you know?
I really tried. I was a hustler in college. Yeah. I would send out my little unreleased SoundCloud links, like the Dropbox of everything. And through that, I actually did get a lot of really helpful connections that helped me once I moved to LA. That's how I met Benjamin Groff,